Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for the lack of videos recently, but today we're going to be unboxing two WCF scale statues. These both come from Surge Studio, which is one of my favorite studios that makes unlicensed Naruto statues. I'm so sad that I didn't get into the statue game earlier when they were releasing all their Akatsuki members, but this time around it's just WCF scale, so it's not a bigger scale statue, but I wanted to get these just because I am picking up this top studio Susanos, and I think these will fit very nicely next to those. So the first one here is Itachi, and the second one, which was in a slightly bigger box, is Madara, my personal favorite villain in Naruto. I still think he should have been the final villain in Shippuden, but they did him dirty and Zetsu came out of nowhere, and then the whole Kaguya thing happened, which we don't really talk about. But here's some of the packaging that you guys can see for Surge Studio. They did some pretty good packaging, although unfortunately there was a small break on, well, I wouldn't call it small, but there was a break in my Madara WCF scale statue. But before we get to that, let's go into Itachi. Here's the Susanoo. I think it actually kind of wowed me. I didn't expect it to look as good as it does. On the bottom here, you can see the battery pack. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared and I don't have batteries, so we won't be able to see these lighted up. But if you guys follow me on Discord, I'll probably share some photos there once I get the batteries for this. But I'll make sure for the future unboxings from this line, I will have the batteries on hand so I can show it to you guys on video. But here's the wings for Itachi Susanoo. This is pretty neat. It just kind of attaches there, just like the bigger scale statues do. So I just love it when you assemble these smaller WCF scale statues. I don't know why. It's, to me, a little bit more satisfying than assembling the bigger scale statues, just because it's all so tiny and it just fits in perfectly. Like this guy right here, the handle goes through the hand and it just attaches to the sword that attaches to the base. So that's pretty much it as far as the Susanoo goes. Now let's move into Itachi himself, everyone's favorite, and they did a great job with him here. The likeness on his face was perfect. I love the eye that's bleeding on the right eye, and even on the Akatsuki cloak, the clouds on here are very well. I even think this is better than my Deidara statue that's on my KM Studio statue that I have an unboxing for. I'll leave a link up here on the top corner. But overall, I really do like the sculpt on these. They're really tiny, but they don't look chibified. They're kind of in between of like a actual scale statue and a chibi form like the Nindroids. But I personally do like it. The only one that I was a little iffy on was Sasuke. I'll put an image here so you guys can see. He does look a little bit derpy, but hopefully once we get him, he does look better. This flame piece here, I didn't know where it goes, so I'm not going to be attaching that. But let's set this aside and move into Madara. Alright, so the Susanoo is perfect. I personally love this Susanoo more than the Susanoo on Itachi. I just think the blue looks really nice, and I love the base as well. They added little cloud effects or smoke effects, I'm not too really sure, but I think it looks pretty cool. And there's Madara's Sharingan. I forgot to share that on Itachi's base. But look at the back of this Susanoo, all the different shades of, like, there's purple and blues on the flames. I just love the way that this Susanoo looks, and I can't wait to get my top studio Madara statue, which also looks to have really nice colors to it. That's it for the base. Next up, we have the dual wielding swords that Madara Susanoo has, which I think he's the only one who does the dual wielding. If I remember correctly, both Itachi and Sasuke have one sword, and then Kakashi just uses the shuriken, as you can kind of see back there in the background, which I forgot to mention. I have him in the background just because I wanted to put all my Susanoos in one video, and they look awesome. I love Susanoos. Can't wait to have all my top studio. But oh no, here's the break that I was mentioning earlier. Madara's head did come broken, and I have a feeling that it's because of the hair. Maybe if they sculpted the hair separately, he wouldn't have broken his head off. If anyone else has this statue, let me know if yours came broken as well. But thankfully, if I just put him in place because of that hair as well, it actually does stay in place even without adding super glue. But before I do that, I'm just showing you guys here some of the details on Madara's body. which look great as well, but I personally prefer the Akatsuki cloak. I was never a big fan of the armor that Madara wears, but nonetheless, he still looks cool wearing it. So I'm just gonna attach him here to the base, and then you guys can see once I put the head on there, because that hair is so long and kind of goes over the fan behind him, it actually stays in place and it doesn't even move or anything. So I'm probably just gonna display it like this. I'm not gonna worry about gluing it. And here's his second hand. This piece isn't broken, it was sculpted separately, so there wasn't another break in here. The head was the only break. At first I thought it was a break, but I think it actually has some magnets in there, because as soon as you put it close to his body, it just kind of attaches in there. So that was pretty cool. However, what wasn't pretty cool is that I couldn't figure out how to attach the chain that goes from his scythe to the fan behind him. So I'm not gonna put that in the video. I was kind of rushing recording this video, so didn't want to take time doing that, but I will figure it out and put him in there later. All right, and then the last thing included in these statues are these metal plaques that tell you the edition size. Here's the one for Madara. I have number 175 out of only 300 made of these guys, so they are very limited, and it's so tiny. It's literally just like a miniature plaque. They scaled them perfectly, and they look pretty cool. I think I'm actually going to display these with these WCF scale statues. I usually don't like the metal plaques like these because they look pretty bulky on the bigger statues, but for WCF they kind of made them a little bit more aesthetically pleasing in my opinion. I think they look really nice. But here's the final view of all of my Susanos. We have Kakashi with the custom LEDs in the back, and then Itachi and Madara here. I really wish I could have showed you guys how it looked with the LEDs turned on, but I'll make sure to be prepared for next time. But that's it for today's video. We're going to go into the showcase for these guys, and I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.